never be afraid again. Say my name. Say my name. And every minute we are shining. And we will never be afraid again. Say my
Welcome back, guys. We're here up at my dad's house. We've got the car here and we've been stuck into doing a bit of work. So before I show you what we've done to the car, I'm going to add a photo in here to show you what the damage looked like, because I found a photo of when it first happened. So I'll show you that and then I'll show you what we've been doing. So this is the undamaged rear quarter, other than how it was dinted up. Now we've I'm not 100% happy with this, but it'll do until we tub it and do it properly again here. So we've put a little bit of angle in here, just where the dent was, and we've also filled in the fuel flat. So plan today is to finish sanding this door here, get it all sanded up, same as this, and the clear coat we put on, it is that thick, so it's taken ages to sand, but still getting it done. And this was the damaged side, so it is now straight again. So I was really amazed in the spots that it actually had pushed it across. We pushed the big dents out, so it was creased here, was one spot. Another big spot was here, and the other big spot was down here. So it amazes me that it can hit here, but do the damage it does down here. So instead of just pulling that dent out there, what we had to do was, you've got all the tools here, had to just straighten all this section down here, like get in there, smack all that out, which then majority of that actually straightened this whole quarter as is. We couldn't shut the boot before because it had pulled right across. I'm not sure if it'll show, but we now got, it's hard to tell, but we now got an even gap, same as this side. But what we will be doing is just bogging up what we can, painting from here, back doors. Side skirts have to get painted because they're part of rubber on them. And yeah.
What did you choke on, or when did the confetti get you? Yeah, / when did the confetti get you? Yeah. Sorry, when did the confetti get you?
So there's a bit going on in the shed today. Last night I had got some videos of, we painted it last night, undercoating it last night. Now it doesn't look too bad, the body line's pretty good. A few little sanding marks and just a few little pinholes that we just got to fill with some putty. but the overall shape and everything looks good. And this side's come out amazing. So, deleted fuel flap. That's just a bit of shit off the paper. But yeah, so we got it all taped up, taped down there. Not worrying too much about in here. If the overspray gets there, it gets there, but we'll pink it all up in there too. What else can I show you? I just started sanding these side skirts. Just done a 180 grid on it and then down to 240, doing that now. Just gonna start doing them over by hand. I was using the sander, but yeah, gonna do it by hand now. I'm not sure if I showed you guys, but we have a bumper. It's a VXSS bumper. It has had the fog light like holder from behind has been cut out for an intercooler previously from the old owner, but it's in good nick. Only thing, it's got scratches along the bottom which will sand out, so it's in really good nick. So once I finish sanding them, I'll chuck that on and start sanding that bumper. Oh yeah, and a big shout out to Wooly for giving this to me. Done a bit of a swapped him the old OTR off the car for this, but he come through and had this, which is good, because I've been dreading that front bumper for the whole time I've had the car. I don't like it, it's ugly, so I've been waiting to get one of these. I'm just out here, got both the cars out here, VB, Commodore. I'm just going over this bumper after it's been undercoated with some 400, making it nice and smooth. He's in there painting the side skirts at the moment, and then we're going to paint this, and then we're going to paint the back of the car. Just the base coat for now, base coat of the pink. But yeah, so all this side of the bumper's done. I'm nearly done, just moving on to this side. It's 9:30 at night, but we've got to get shit done.
400.
You did. Well guys, it's Christmas Eve and we've rubbed back these two doors and just given them a cut so far. So 2 doors and rear quarters. So this is it so far. That's just with a cut. No polish yet. Oh, well, a cut and polish, but no finish and polish yet, and it looks amazing. And that fuel flap delete just sets it off. Go around to this side. It's the same, this side's just, the repair come out really, really good. There's a few, barely any, and it's really hard to pick. Unless you knew that we fully crashed it and you're up here looking and really looking, you can only see a few little things, but the shine Well, actually, I might take that back. Now it's all polished, I can't even really see any sort of imperfections. So it looks really, really good. And the front of the car just needs washing. Now I'm gonna pull the front bumper off. I'm gonna put this bumper on. I've sanded this one back, it's not polished yet. Put the front bumper on because it's gonna be way easier to polish it when it's on, so it's not flopping around and stuff. And then I'm gonna drop it off the hoist, put the side skirts on, and then I'm gonna take it out there and wash it. That way, once we finish polishing the back, it'll all match to the front. Well guys, the panel work is pretty much all done. Now this side turned out unreal. That's in the sun, that's with a polish. I'm gonna get Zach at No Limits Custom Detailing. He's gonna come round and he'll do a once over it before Summernats. But you wouldn't even know that there was any sort of accident there. Same as this side. You wouldn't even know there was a fuel flap there. It just looks unreal. This bumper, I've polished up. You can tell slightly, just ever so slightly, that it's a little bit lighter. I think the plastic soaked in a lot of that colour and it's not as deep as the rest. It still matches very well and you've only got to be up close to really see it, but air cleaner's on, painted pink. I've got to pull that headlights back out and paint that bit black again before Summernats. So I have these clips. So I posted up on Facebook seeing if anyone had some, and I've gotten onto some. So they're just like a push button clip, like everyone does, like the hood quick release hood pins or whatever you want to call them. So I'm going to do that for the back bumper, so I can just quickly pop it off, do the 4 nuts, come straight off. Now that's not the bumper that's going to be staying on there full time. That's still the executive bar that come on the car originally, but it does set it off, I reckon, having the bumper on there. So I'll leave that on for cruising and stuff, and take it off for skids. But just got to put this strip back on the other side too. Like I said, do a once over of polish. And yeah, all the panel work's basically done. Now I found out it need a tail shaft loop. Apparently, I thought that because it was 2-piece tail shaft with the centre bearing that you didn't need it, because that's what they told me last year for that. But they said, I made mine, emailed them, and they said that you need a tail shaft loop. So I've got this one. It's a homemade one. My dad made it for his car, and I don't know what he done something, and then he ended up getting a new one. But I'm gonna try and make that fit. If not, I'm gonna try and get onto one. And the only thing after that is finish welding this boot up. So finish welding all those cracks and stuff that I didn't do, and weld up some holes on the top of the parcel shelf there. So weld the boot up, finish welding the boot up, and tail shaft loop pretty well, and we'll be ready for Summernats. So I don't know if I explained it in the last video at Summernats, but the battery light was flickering on and off, like when we're idling around. And when it was up at my dad's house, we had it running, got a multimeter onto the battery, and the alternator's like not charging, but then it'd have a spike and then it'd charge. So that's another thing I need. Next week I'll be getting an alternator, so I've got to put a new one of them on. But hopefully that'll fix. It's got a little bit of an idling issue, like the revs will stay high. And we notice the battery light only comes on when it does that. Like when it does that, the battery light's on, so obviously hasn't got enough power to something. So new alternator, weld the boot, and just tidy up some things. So I got the quarters all covered up because I don't want to go wrecking that beautiful paint. Got the fan set up because it's fucking hot. Some lights set up. So I think we're gonna be on to start welding. So I got pretty full on with the welder yesterday. I decided to fill in the big gaps just with pure weld, like up there, down there, and all that back section is, I'd say it's pretty much welded. I'm not going to add any more to it. But I did just cut out, and I have grinded some things right up the top here. So I've grinded that away where I'm going to put, got 2 plates made up so far. Just go and plate them like that. Plate them like that. Run some welds around it, and I'll do the same with these other holes, and then I might just try and weld all these other little holes up. So I started to grind that back, which it made it look a bit better, and I ground a few hairy bits back that had rods of weld sticking off them. But I thought, I'm not, like, I want the boot to be presentable, but right now there's no point spending all this time and effort on it right now when the tubs have got to come out, like more things has to be cut out, and all this I want filled in. So there's no point me grinding everything back now to make it perfect when I can make it still look half presentable by just cleaning the shit up in here and then giving a quick spray over with the black, which I'm going to do. So yeah, I'm not going to stay wasting my time grinding every single weld back just to make it look good when it still looks half decent now, and chuck a bit of black over and it'll look good. So that's what I'm going to do. Going to clean the boot out and get some black and give it a spray. So this is, they didn't have an edge primer down at Super Cheap, so this is just a metal cover. It's basically the same thing, just they call it some other stupid name. But no, just to protect it from rust and shit. So it doesn't rust, and it's not like I'm not benefiting anything. I'm protecting the metal plus making it look half presentable. So I'm gonna get spraying. So I've just sprayed all what I can. I don't want to go down there too much just because I don't want overspray going out and on the paint. But from here, it looks really good. So it's good from far, but it's far from good. But yeah, it's all black in there. The light on me camera is probably making it look a bit silly, but it does look good. And I just sat the fuel cell back in on its things. So gonna let all that dry. Just gonna put all the interior back in, let all that dry, and finish it off tomorrow. So I was always a little bit worried because I'd snapped the cable, or broken the end off up here for the cable to undo the boot manually. The one just in the back just there, the yellow one. So I just pulled the latch out and I welded the cable to it. Now it all works well. Just gotta not pull it so hard. I think that's what I done last time. Pulled it way too hard and snapped it off. So that's really good. Sorry guys, I've been a bit slack filming doing this, but I was in a bit of a rush and yeah, so I ended up going to get an aeroflow tail shaft loop off. My boss had one, so I went and got it off him. And I had to do a little bit of cutting and stuff, so this all this bottom section across there is all one piece, and the top part is bolt on. And because my drill shit itself and I wanted to get this done today and kind of needed to, I was going to drill holes and weld studs in, but I got a bit slack and decided I'm just going to weld it in so that I can cut them off like at a later date. Like I know when I go Turbo 400 or Power Glide or whatever I go, I'm going to need a new tail shaft, and this is going to have to come out and be customized anyway. So I know it's got to come out again. I just bash that in there so the bolts can be in there, but it's not going to be hard to cut them off if need be, and it'll do for now. So that's the tail shaft loop done, which is good. Just put everything else back. So just brought the car out to get some good photos of it. So just brought it out just to Mexico somewhere. Anyway, just parked it up. Nothing silly, just parked it up. Do some nice photos. Just while all the paint's looking fresh, and it's just sounding awesome and looking awesome. So I'll give you guys a bit of a look. Now the paint is just absolutely shining, especially in that sun. Rear quarter looks good. I got these on. That rear quarter. Rear bumper looks good on there. The other one there. And it just looks amazing. So I got the aircon going, got the car back up on the hoist, about to pull the wheel off, and I've got some bushes for the lower control arm, so for the Z-beam. So it's been badly needing this because every time I put the foot on the brake, the wheel, I'd nearly say by that mark there that it hits the bumper. So it's better off get them done, and might handle a little bit better on the pad or anything. So it turns out both these sway bar link ends are buggered too, but that'll be have to do for another time. This is up there, and the rod in there is buggered too, but that'll be next time. You can definitely tell this one was the buggered one. Just looks rooted, so like you were doing them.